Hey everyone, Chris here from Realridesharestories. On this channel we do a lot of different things within the rideshare industry, so if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. But before we get started, if you have a crazy Uber Lyft experience, whether you're a passenger or driver, record it, send it my way, and maybe we can feature you on the channel. So we're going to do a couple of quick updates, or PSA announcements, things we already know. It's going to be a quick live stream, but if you guys have any questions or anything real quick, we'll go over them. But yeah, we're going to do a few quick reminders just to make sure when you're out there driving, you follow the rules so you don't get in trouble, you don't get deactivated, and you stick right to it. Also, on a good note, the Bills just won against the Giants, so they just beat the Giants and the Jets, so they're 2-0. Next week's the Patriots. So it'll be an interesting game, but being in Buffalo, it's always good to see that the Bills have won. So it'll be a good couple of days. But let's get into it. So a couple of quick things to remember. When you're out there driving, never allow anybody who's under 18 without somebody who's at least 18 to come in the vehicle. So no transportation of unaccompanied minors. Again, it's against terms of service. Don't do it. If anything happens, that's going to be on you as a driver. It's not going to be on Uber or Lyft. Their insurance is going to find anything they can do not to pay. So just make sure that you take care of yourself. What's up, Brianna? How's it going? Yes, ID. That is a perfect lead into ID right there with that comment. If you feel anybody is under 18, check ID. You can. You don't have to take their word for it. If you think they're under 18, you can ID. Now here's the crazy thing. Real quick story on that. I took somebody, picked them up. They looked like they were at least 20, 22, and they were coming right out of where they were at school. And just near the end of the ride, she said she was 16 years old. I'm like, whoa, time out here. So yeah, even looks can be deceiving, and just the area, like I said, it was in the college spot where all the apartments are. And yeah, it was just a weird situation, but yeah, that happens. So just, make sure if anybody looks underage or under 18, question them, especially at high schools, question them. But at least if somebody's 18 years of age or older, that's okay. You could take them, but you can ID. All right, and then remember, going on with children, no children without car seats. So if somebody comes, orders a ride, and they don't have a child or booster seat, that's no ride. Cancel, collect, move on. Do not be that person that takes that ride. Doesn't matter if it's going to be a 20-minute ride or whatever it could be, or it looks like a good ride, or during surge or prime time or whatever it is. Don't do it, because again, if something happens, if you get pulled over, you're the one who's on the hook. In most cases, certain areas in certain states, it is the legal guardian who might be at fault for that. But again, you don't want to risk anything if something does happen. Also, no alcohol in the car. Lyft completely prohibits it. So if you are driving for Lyft, no alcohol in a car whatsoever. Hey, what's up? You drive and wait 5, it's up to you. That's honestly going to be up to you. If you want to, if you've been driving, say you're on a way somewhere and that's the way you kind of wanted to go and you just want to go on the next one, you could cancel right away. If it was out of the way a little bit, it's going to be up to you, your discretion. It's whatever you feel like doing. But one thing that Uber and Lyft really, really need to do is, if there's that case that happens, and you get there and there's somebody under 18 that's trying to get a ride, or no child seat, they really need to stop that wait 5 thing. I understand why, because certain drivers could abuse it and just say that there was a child there. So it is this kind of slippery slope though. But yeah, something needs to happen there when it comes down to it. But yeah, if you wait 5 minutes or not, that's going to be up to you. It's really going to be your call, whatever you feel best. But going back to alcohol, none in the car. Lyft strictly states no alcohol, period. Uber says kind of what's ever in compliance with the law. But if people are drinking in your car and it spills or anything like that, it can be real easy for a spill. So if you as a driver don't want to allow any type of alcohol in the car whatsoever, you are in full right to do that and say no alcohol. the other day I had to tell somebody who was trying to sneak it in that they had to get rid of it or they weren't getting a ride. He got rid of it. He was quiet the whole time. His other friends were having a good time. But hey, guess what? I don't care. I'm not going downtown, especially to a spot where there's a lot of bad cops who are not bad cops, but there are a lot of cops who are really looking, and they're really looking at Uber and Lyft drivers. So if they do anything out of the ordinary, they pull drivers over right away. So yeah, I'm not dealing with that. No way, no how. But don't allow that in your car either, just in case something does happen. Now on to service animals. I did just get an email or a text or whatever, again with service animals from Uber. It's probably going to come with Lyft in the next day or two because they always like to go around. But yeah, do not decline people with service animals, or do not say you can't take service animals. Anybody who has a service animal or is falls under ADA, Americans with Disability, you cannot discriminate on them based on having a service animal. You have to take that service animal, whether you're allergic to them or not, the animal, or if even somebody else is allergic, if you're doing pool or Lyft line or Lyft shared ride. If you're doing one of those, you still have to take the service animal. It doesn't matter. My recommendation is, keep a towel, keep a blanket, something in the back of your car, just in case service animal does come in. One of the good things about service animal is they're very well trained. So if they come in the car, they're usually just going to lay down, sit there, not really do anything. There's not really too much of a problem when it comes to service animals because, like I say, they are trained. So just do not deny a ride based on something like that, because you will be deactivated, and it's also against the law. So if people wanted to do some type of damages, they probably could pretty quick. So just be careful with those things, but don't discriminate that way. And then just don't discriminate on anything as well too. So if you are trying to stop a ride based on age, sex, religion, whatever it might be, orientation, do not do it. Don't discriminate. Don't discriminate against their destination, where they're going. So if you see you're picking somebody up and it's an area you don't like going into, don't discriminate on that. Take the ride, that's fine. Just, hit the button for cancel new requests, go offline, and then get out of that area and go somewhere else. Usually also dropping people off into a shadier area or an unsafe area isn't really too bad, because you're just kind of going right there. Then just put on a destination filter, or open up the app, Maps app, and then just drive out of there if you're especially unfamiliar with that area. Other than that, you can go wherever you need to go to feel that you're in a more safe area. You can not take rides based on their passenger rating or however far distance they are. So if you see that you don't want to take a ride because they have a 4.4 passenger rating, you can deny that ride. You don't have to take it. There's a reason why that passenger rating is low. So if they have a low passenger rating, you don't have to take it if you don't want to, but it's really going to be up to you and whatever you decide. But again, don't discriminate once you get to there based on anything, because you can get deactivated for any reason like that. So never discriminate against anybody. Also, always have your doors locked whenever you get there to any location. Actually, crazy story that I just saw I think it was earlier today actually, that I saw in the news. I'm not sure when it happened, but a taxi cab driver was actually held at gunpoint. And they showed the video of it because he had a dash cam, and it was on the news. It was in Tennessee. Bad thing what happened, but yeah, lock your doors and pay attention whatever is going around you. If you see anybody who's doing anything that's a little out of the ordinary, just keep your eye on them. Just don't take your eye off. Be safe, be smart, and if you feel unsafe, just put it in drive, move somewhere else. If at that point somebody's acting shady around the car and you're there for a pickup, if you still feel unsafe, you can leave. You can actually also call your passenger and say, hey, look, there's somebody going around. I'm not really too sure with that, but if you want to go down the street or something, or just cancel the ride at that point. That's because you feel unsafe, so that's not a discrimination against anything else but your safety. And your safety is key as a driver and as a passenger, but as a driver, yes, if you feel unsafe in any way, cancel the ride, move on, no big deal. Verify the info once they get there on whoever it is, and just make sure you know who's coming in your car, especially in large events. You know, there's things that are happening called football games where there could be 50, 60, 70, 80,000 people leaving a stadium. If you're working those games, or if you're working at the bar where there's a lot of people congregating and you don't know who's coming in your car, after the game, they're usually having a few drinks. So you would just want to make sure that you aren't, that you aren't picking up the wrong person, because they're probably not paying attention. They just see an Uber sticker or Lyft sticker and they're like, oh, that's my car, and then try getting in. So just verify all the information, make sure you have the right person, and then verify also where they're going, just to double check, because you don't want to make a mistake, take them to the wrong spot. But it is their mistake overall, truly though. But just verify it before the ride starts. And then lastly, just be prepared, be safe out there whenever you go out for any reason. Always pay attention when you're driving. Don't pay attention to your phone. If somebody texts you, don't look at it. Pull over and wait and see the phone at that point. But always drive paying attention. If you see anybody around you that's swerving, or if you see anybody not paying attention, just try to be safe, be proactive, and whatever you do, always be prepared in any way, shape, or form. All right, guys, just want to give you a couple of quick reminders and PSAs out there. So it was a quick live stream. Didn't want to do too much, but yeah, like I said, if you have any questions or anything, always comment below, and I'll get back to you. And if it's a little bit longer, but I will try to always get back to everybody. I'm going to head out now. I'm actually just about to record a podcast, so that's why I'm here as well. But yeah, so with that being said, that's the end of today's video. Hope you guys, if you forget any of those things, which I hope you don't, because we have to remember that all the time, but it's always good to have a little reminder. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications so you'll be notified for every time a new video is uploaded. As always, never drink and drive, always tip your drivers, and we'll see you next time.